And I gotta tell you, the Starlink is so frustrating because you run a test and you get a speed and you write it down, and then you run another test without changing anything. And it can be 100 megabits different. You change nothing, it's 1 minute later. But 1 minute later, it switched satellites 3 times.
Every 15 seconds. It's baseline level, you get a lot more download than an upload out of Starlink. Because you get hundreds of megabits of download and 20 or 30, sometimes 50 of megabits of upload on the Starlink. We have 2 Starlinks here on the roof, and trying to combine them, you can get very different behavior where sometimes, depending how you have the Starlinks oriented, depending what satellites they connect to, sometimes they just seem to share bandwidth, where you can get 300 megabits out of either one, or you can get 300 megabits out of both of them at the same time. And then other times you can add them up and you can get 600 megabits or 400 or 500 megabits, depending on the conditions, with adding them up. And yeah, it seems to vary on the conditions on what satellites they're hitting, what other Starlink users in the area happen to be doing at the time, and what the load on the satellites is.
Every launch of satellites, there's a new version of satellite. They are doing, agile continuous development on their satellites. There are many, many different versions of Starlink satellites. They've moved half of them to a lower orbit, so they have lower latency and stronger signal strength. One study, they said when it rains, Starlink's upload speeds drop 52%. Downloads 35%. So because it's a Starlink and we use Starlink API, we're tightly integrated with Starlink, we pull all of the stats off the Starlink dish that are available. So you can see, what kind of speeds the Starlink is giving, how many packets it's dropping. None, it says. But 4% of the sky is obstructed. All this stuff. Right now we're set up well. There's no alerts or anything, but there'd be alerts here in red if the dish was overheating or was having trouble connecting. And then we've got the Starlink Dish Alignment Wizard, which shows our Starlink which way it's pointing. The green circle is which way Starlink says it should be pointing, and we've got to point it the right way. So little green circle around our green circle. We've got the obstruction map. You can see the view of the sky. Pretty good view of the sky. We even have an audio tracking feature. It makes little pinging noises that get happier as you get it closer to the right alignment. So if you need to align a dish on a ladder, put in AirPods, turn this on, the audio, climb the ladder, and adjust it till it sounds right, instead of trying to look at, the Starlink app on your phone or whatever. Now, one might ask, why did we create this? Why don't people just use the Starlink app? And the answer is because the Starlink app can't handle more than one Starlink. But we can. So Speedify will find all of your Starlinks, and you will get this screen on each of them. And so you can monitor any of your Starlinks, where the Starlink app assumes you only have one dish and it can't switch among them. What are all the stats we're showing on the Starlink, right? I mean, we're showing the real-time throughput per dish. We've got the latency for each satellite connection. Here's a weird twist. So we've got the latency here, 19.8 milliseconds. And then we've got the latency here, 55 milliseconds, 54 milliseconds. Why are they so different, Kevin?
So that's their latency is measuring to the satellite, but this is measuring from the Speedify client to the server. And the latency in our graph is from
all the way to the internet.
Yeah, so it has to go through the satellite back to the ground, through the internet to get to the server and back. So yeah, there's more hops involved getting all the way to the server. And then your traffic beyond that still then has to leave the server to whatever its destination is on the internet, which is usually pretty quick from our servers, depending what you're talking. Some things, depending if you're connecting to a server over here and then talking to a server over here on the internet across the country, that can add a whole lot of extra latency based on top of what we show.
Oh, another screen we've added, the Starlink control screen. Woo-hoo. Shows if you have multiple dishes, it gets more exciting because you get to see all the things from all the dishes next to each other. But here, and this graph gets more exciting. If the Starlink goes out, we'll actually show you the period of time it was out and why it was out. If you have different dishes, you'll see them all lined up. And we've got a couple weird settings. Bonding alignment, we give you all these warnings if your dishes are misaligned or if they're all pointed the same direction and stuff. If you don't like it, you can turn it off. With us. And vehicle platform, if you have put your Starlinks on a bus or a ship or an airplane, us telling you that it's pointed the wrong direction is not very helpful. So if you're on a vehicle, you can turn that on, and it kills a lot of the warnings, because obviously as your vehicle moves around, the alignment's going to be what it's going to be. So we stop warning you about those sort of things.